And we are live. Welcome to the stream. And today I'm going to be talking about THORSWAP and what happened when I went in a liquidity pool, and showing you just a few things on the site, what I recommend, what I don't recommend doing with this particular token, and just have a look at what it's doing. Just give you an overview of some things that you need to be aware of if you want to get into it. So, before we start, if you want to get involved with DeFi in general, my course, How to DeFi, is now live. Click on the link in the description and it will take you to the course. Basically, it goes through 20 different DeFi protocols within the space, tells you how to yield farm, tells you about liquidity pools, tells you about the DeFi market in general, how to do everything within the sector. It's got bonus modules, it's got everything. Click the link to get the full description on it. You can also access a free module. If you click a link in the description as well, you'll find it. Free module. It's around 15 minutes long. See if you like it. If so, you can then go on to buy the full course. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Now, you can then go on to buy the full course. What this is the THORSWAP website. So app.thorswap.finance. And this is what it looks like. Now, what I did was, you can see here, there's various liquidity pools. And what I did was go on here. Then I went on the Thor, which is the THORSWAP token. You can see here the APY. And what I did was go on liquidity. And what you can do is you can add different types of liquidity here. So you can add just Thor, you can add Thor and Rune like you would normally do, or you can just add Rune. So I added Rune. I added 50 Rune to this particular pool for a week. And then a week, so I added 50 to the pool. A week later, I come out with 46. Sorry, I added 51 Rune, and I came out with 47 Rune. So I lost 4 Rune in this particular liquidity pool. So if you're wondering what the hell happened, I'll show you. This is what happened, and what I'm going to recommend you do as well. So if we look on here, this is on the THORCHAIN website. So what's the difference between staking and providing liquidity? Staking is a slightly ambiguous term that can mean both things. In short, staking means locking up your assets in a smart contract. Generally, you stake your tokens in order to generate interest or yield or to vote in the governance of a protocol. Liquidity providers stake their assets into pools in order to collect fees from the trades made by other users on the network. Where do my returns come from? Stakers earn fees primarily through block rewards and are not necessarily exposed to market risks. However, liquidity providers earn returns from fees proportional to the amount they stake. If you stake 100 tokens in an exchange pool that has a total of 1,000 tokens, you will earn a 10% share of the pool. If an exchange charges a 0.3% fee to make a trade, you'll collect 10% of that 0.3% fee. So if a $10,000 trade is made, you'll earn $3. Liquidity pools are exposed to market risk, and a large divergence in asset value can cause a loss of overall funds. Please be aware, THORCHAIN is not a magic money tree. A pool is essentially an auto-balancing portfolio. The pool's goal is to maintain an equal share of tokens relative to USD value. Keep in mind that you're exposed to two different assets. If you love Rune, THORCHAIN, but sell half of it to enter the Rune BNB pool, do not expect to profit the same as holding 100% Rune. You sold half of it. This is called opportunity cost, or the perceived loss when you compare actual profit versus what could have been. For this reason, this is only advised to enter pools where you would normally hold both assets in your wallet in a 50-50 split. So for example here, let's say you start with 1,000 Rune and Rune is worth $1. If you sell 500 Rune in order to buy 20 BNB at $25, you now enter a Rune BNB pool where you hold 50% Rune and 50% BNB. The Rune price increases 2 times, and you ask, why do I not have $2,000 worth of Rune? Your original $1,000 Rune. Remember, you sold half of your Rune. You are now only 50% exposed to Rune. Your pool share is now worth $1,500, a 50% gain compared to holding 100% Rune. You now have 350 Rune minus 150 and 28 BNB plus 8 because the pool balanced itself out. This is 750 RUNE total if you were to withdraw and swap your BNB back to RUNE. If you want to hodl 100% RUNE, do not use BEP swap to provide liquidity. This is because you need to sell half to buy the other asset. Now, this is what I did. So, symmetric versus asymmetric staking. In both cases, do not assume that you're entitled to 100% gains on one asset. You want a 50-50% share of two different assets. If one asset doubles in value and the other asset drops in half, you'll not experience a gain. Symmetric staking is staking an equal US dollar amount on both sides of a pool. If you want to stake 10 ETH in an ETH DAI pool and ETH is worth $350, you would therefore stake 10 ETH and 3,500 DAI. So this is what I did here. So asymmetric staking. When you only stake an asset for one side of a pool and let the pool balance itself out, or allow the system to perform a swap on your behalf. If you asymmetric stake with 100% RUNE, you almost certainly experience a situation where you end up with less RUNE than you started with. Me. This is because you effectively sold half your RUNE for the other asset, and you are no longer entitled to the profits holding 100% of a single asset. Conversely, if RUNE experiences a large drop in price, you'll be partially sheltered from the loss and will actually have more RUNE. If you asymmetric stake into an empty or shallow pool, you could lose all your assets. Essentially, you unbalance the pool to such an extreme that arbiter will come and play pennies on the dollar for the asset you have staked. Remember, CLPs depend on arbitrage for assets to normalize to market prices, not outside oracles. So if you were to create a new empty pool with 1,000 USDC and 500 USDT, you're priced USDC at 50 cents. A trader bot will come along and balance the pool and your stake will suffer significant loss. So I've lost money by just doing only RUNE into this pool. If I left it longer, I may have made money. You don't know. I was just putting in for a week to see what happens, and it's obviously happened negatively. Now, what you can do is you can put both Thor and RUNE in if you want this particular pool, because it's got the highest APY at the moment. Or if you get Thor, you can just do Thor. If you look at the THORSWAP price, since its launch, it's about $2.41. It's not listed on anything yet, like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. Literally, you can see here, it's not really done much. It's down 25% from the all-time high. In theory, this could go as high as a Uniswap, Pancake Swap that is originally launched and then shot up in price. You just don't know. However, one sec. I just plug my laptop in. So what I would recommend if you did want to do it is probably just stake it. So if you go on the Thor section and go on stake, this is what you can do. You can stake Thor for 82% APY just by depositing it into this pool. You can do a different liquidity pool, so ETH and Thor with Sushi Swap and get 364% APY. Or you can do Thor and RUNE and you can do it on the THORCHAIN exchange, which is this, and get 486% APY. However, the problem is getting into Thor. So if you wanted to swap, say you had RUNE already, like I do, native RUNE, you thought, oh, I'll swap some for Thor, and I will start staking the Thor. So if you did that, say you wanted to swap, I don't know, 50. Look at the fee here, the current fee, $550 if you wanted to do it this way. $550 to swap your native RUNE for Thor. Again, you can get it on Sushi Swap, but you've got to swap ETH for it, so it could be high fees. However, if you wanted to do it, you're prepared to take the fee hit, wait till the fees drop, etc., etc. Wait until Thor's available via another way. You could then stake it on one of these liquidity pools here. This is the current state of play with THORSWAP. Maybe it had teething problems when it was launched. Maybe that's one of the reasons for the actual THORSWAP. The THORCHAIN price dropping slightly. But these options are out here if you do want to obviously use any of these liquidity pools to stake your Thor or any of these liquidity pool tokens here. So the Thor, Thor Rune, it's entirely up to yourself. Keep an eye on it, keep looking at the fees. It's not something I would do personally at the moment, but I've made the video to show you what happened when I did use the liquidity pool and I did lose 4 Rune. Maybe people will comment on this saying I've done it wrong or I should have waited longer, maybe, but I'm just showing you my experience of what did happen. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, follow myself on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Plenty more videos coming your way soon. I'm going to talk about Elrond in the next video. I'm going to talk about what's happening with MEX and what is happening with the Maya exchange. So that's it for now. As I said, if you like my videos, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you all very soon.